interesting aesthetic that's going around, especially on places like TikTok or probably Grindr, I don't know, is people's content just being like really simple, like just them living their lives and just talking about perceivably mundane things, but it's more anecdotal. It's more like a type of anthropology, like studying someone different, studying other humans. I enjoy doing that. I enjoy just listening to some people talk, and they don't have to be talking about anything that's like profound or anything. They could just be talking about different experiences or elaborating on an aesthetic or just talking about something. And that's what I like doing on my channel too. And I guess some criticism sometimes that I'm not like saying anything, but I'm okay with it because I'm not always trying to preach or anything. I just like talking about life and about my own experience, and I also enjoy listening to other people's experiences. I enjoy listening to my friends, and sometimes they wonder, like they apologize, like thinking they're talking too much, and I'm like, no, I'm like thoroughly listening and have all these questions too. So I equally enjoy listening to other people's stories and how other people explain things. And I also love road trips. I've been on a lot of drives and had awesome, really long conversations with people that stayed with me and is memorable. And also a lot of that being just jesting and joking around, because you can't take these things too seriously. Like sometimes people who cry, it's from too much joy, and other people who laugh is from too much pain. Like there's exceptions to every rule, and that's what I find fascinating, is those phenomenons. I feel like in a lot of ways I'm kind of a phenomenon that's like divergent from the norm and a little polarized from the norm. I guess the cliche would be like, oh, you just want to be different. And I'm like, yeah, I do. But that's also kind of reductionist. It's not just I just want to be different because I don't like something else. It's not like that. There's more depth to it. It's like I'm trying to be something else. I don't want this other kind of way of life to be pushed on me. I want to explore and have different special life experiences that you can only really understand what that's like if you've been through it. And that's like the essence of existentialism. Just studying the nature of being. It's ontological. And that's the kind of thing that fascinates me. And it can be anything from the most simple, minute thing to like a concept that's beyond our understanding because it's so profound. And I also see the profound things in small things. But I don't mind being watched and being listened to, because I feel like in a way we're always being watched. And also because I enjoy listening to others. It's like the things I'm saying are the things I would have a conversation with myself about, and that's kind of what I'm doing here. And my name, I came up with Liloquy as far as soliloquy. And I also like the flower liloquy, but I didn't want to just do that. Like I wanted to make a new word. And my birth name is Daniel, and a lot of people know me as Daniel, but I've been going as Deja for a while because who I am is in a lot of ways, to everyone who knows me, a memory of who I was. And in French, it's like, again. And so here I am again. I feel like, well, part of my transformation or being born again or whatever you want to call it is I felt like at one point in the depths of my depression this one year, actually 2022, I feel like I died. Like part of me died, and it was like very grievous. I grieved it. It was like I couldn't feel that part of me anymore. And I went like sober for a while because I was like, did I do like something to myself? And I was just trying to be of my natural, like, healthy way. And I had to recreate myself. I had to, because I was still alive. Like, my heart's still beating, I'm still breathing. I might as well start living again. And I could have done with less pain. I think I would have had the same knowledge with like less pain, and like that also really stricken my disposition with life, because I'm like, why does it have to be so arduous, like, and last so long? It's like, I get it, okay, I guess that's just the level of, like, we also have our human needs and our own, like, brain. I've noticed for myself, like, rewards certain kind of behaviors. Like when I was in relationships, I was like the least depressed ever until, you know, the heartbreaking experience of like hurt and like the devastation of it not working out when you really wanted it to, and you like go back to that, you know, and I'm like, I don't want to like need to be in a relationship, but it's like my body, I'm so like the chemistry that I have is so like I'm really good with someone else, like as far as communicating and being present with them and being emotionally available and trying to be mature about things, but also standing up for myself and not taking any crap, but also knowing when to walk away. And I'm not saying I have any of that down, but I'm like juggling with it because we all go through those circumstances, confrontation. And so trying to be a professional human and be mature and grow out of these insipid behaviors of like being triggered and like lashing out at people and just being like the whole victim mentality or whatever, even though we are kind of all victims to this. It's like people might not be humble enough to admit it, but we are all victims of this matrix system that constricts us. I truly feel, within myself at least, that there's so much more to me than what is allowed to happen here, I guess. So, it's a difficult level of the cosmic video game where these avatars, I mean, it's pretty cool we get to grow in our avatar and become, like, it's like this is all we know. Like, what a wild experiment to just take a spark of us and like this consciousness here, this is all we know. There is no other conception of there being anything else, unless you've had an experience like that where you've gone beyond or seen beyond or just had something so profound. Call it delusion, call it illusion. It changes people. It's powerful. If people think they've seen something, even if it is an illusion, they saw something that moved them, that was a catalyst, that like really altered their life, and oftentimes in a positive way, even through these traumatic circumstances. And it's been hard for me to accept that there's some things you can only learn through trauma, and I still don't know if I buy that. This world is a very scammy kind of place, and we don't even know if we're being scammed on the spiritual level. But something's keeping this going, and has been keeping this going. I have questions, obviously. I talk about all this kind of stuff. I'm always trying to orient myself around it and reconcile with the polarities here. So it's existential, it's ontological, it's I guess kind of adjacent to anthropology. It's a little bit studying people and cultures and why they are the way they are and like the things they like and what makes something novel and cool and incredible and what makes something distasteful and yuck. And because there's a lot of that about, or at least we encounter it in that way in this Matrix illusion or just physical, like whatever you want to call this construct that we're in. But it's quite the dynamic. It's some advanced technology, like the megapixel here, more like micropixel, like Planck length or whatever. That's like so small. And then in the vastness of it all, we're just in the middle of this like incredible like supercomputer. And that's cool to me. I like to entertain that belief instead of like, oh, it's all just this cosmic accident. Nothing has meaning. It's all going to depart. So I at least like to have fun with it, you know. Try not to take it too seriously, but also if this life is like a movie, I want it to be a good story. Stories have meanings. Like stories move us. And we discover who we are through like these narratives, whether or not we wrote them for ourselves. Anyway.